All right, folks, welcome back to Uncaged episode 2. I got my co-host to my right, Nazim, Sadykhov. Got the one and only, the legendary Coach Ray Longo, the greatest sports mind in New York history. I'm saying it. I don't care. Screw Tom Coughlin, screw Parcells, Belichick, all of them. We have the greatest sports mind in New York history. Ray Longo.
I tell you, I'm in a state of shock right now with you two guys. I might not even be able to speak today. I'm in a state of shock. How was Charlie? Come on, Nas. How did he do
Ray,
this?
I don't know how I ended up here myself.
No, yeah, well, that's true.
But you're asking the wrong person.
Well, we got to start with him first.
Start with Charlie because
He
I don't
went
know how
from one amateur fight with Harry Mack in his corner to running Vegas with the MMA scene. How was that possible?
That's what happens when you let a pair of New Yorkers run loose with a bunch of money in Las Vegas.
I guess so.
I'm just having a good time,
houses
man.
and fucking podcasts and all kinds of stuff.
So I might be a little off if I'm just looking at him going, how the fuck did this guy...
Every time I see Ray, he's more confused. What do you even do every time?
I think I am more confused. It's the only guy I know who has more Instagram followers than me, and I don't even know what he does.
You're not wrong, Ray. I promise you, you're not wrong. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I do not know how I ended up here.
We're having a good time, though. You know, that's all that matters. We were talking about Merab before we even got going.
Unbelievable.
How fun is he to watch?
I tell you, to really know him from where he came from, which was not even speaking a lick of English, to what he's doing now, and even seeing his personality, his humor, he's really funny. He's humble. He's grateful for everything. I think he's having a blast when he fights. I don't know who's going to stop him at this point.
You had him at the construction days, right? When he was still working.
100%.
How different is he now compared to then? Or is he like the same type of person?
I don't think he's... I may be a little, because you have to when you have this much success, but he's still a humble, really awesome dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, because last time, like I guess 2 months ago, whenever his last fight was, we went out to dinner, and he brought the construction guy, his first boss.
Oh, really?
And his first boss told me, first of all, he didn't make any money because every time he drove to work, he got a ticket. So they'd have to go on and pay the ticket. Then I go, did he do anything crazy when he was there? So the guy pulls out a video. He fell off no, he didn't fall. He somersaulted off the roof of a house into the bushes. Then he shows me a picture. He took the nail gun and drove it through his finger. So he's got a nail... No, the guy's... I mean... This is
now, we didn't see that on camera. No. That's some of the stuff. But I can only imagine some of the stories you have, let alone the construction
Exactly. Site. So he added to even, his legend of doing crazy things that I thought we all saw, but there's still more. So I think it adds to his aura at this point. He's kind of got like a Mike Tyson aura. I mean...
The glasses when he walked out with you, the big meta glasses, was so ridiculous. Bigger than him. So ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to watch, but I tell you, he's having fun, and when you're having fun, you if you're having fun, just do whatever you like as often as possible. And I think he has so much fun fighting. I think he'll fight 5 times in a year.
Yeah, we'll tell you that. Now we see him in the gym. He's got like a new sponsorship every day. He had a basketball hoop in the gym a couple weeks ago. It's like, what?
Well, I wouldn't want to see him shooting baskets. No.
What is this guy doing?
That can't look good.
I'm sure these people are just chucking everything, all their products at him. Just here, take my money, take my thing, and do your videos.
Yeah, anything with like an endurance edge or a motor,
he's in.
But he's got to be the guy at this point. He's got to be the guy. There's nothing he can't do now with that. So power to him, because man, he started with nothing, and again, he's an example of never giving up on yourself. Never. He's had adversity, losses. Could have quit 15 times, but he didn't. He just kept going, and it wasn't easy. He had to work. He wasn't making money at the beginning, and those are the guys you want to see do good, man. He's just...
How does it feel for you, Ray? Because I always ask you this question, how does it feel to have all these champions? And then I guess I kind of ask it when we're just bypassing each other. I'm in the gym, here comes the gym. I don't really ever get to talk to you about this, but how do you feel?
Now I'm having more time to reflect, so it feels great. But my always the intention was for these guys to do better after fighting than even during fighting. So I think everybody had to set up a business. I think everybody, Aljo's doing great, Weidman's doing great, all the champions doing great, Quinta's doing great. So I'm really actually more happy about that. And Merab is just going to be set for life, and I think that's what makes him dangerous. I think if he had to go back to construction tomorrow, he wouldn't even give a shit.
You should be worried about me, but I got Charlie now, so...
No. You're good. We're talking about all the past guys, not the future. The guys coming up in the future. You'll be there sooner or later. But yeah, no, it feels good because they're all really solid people. More than anything, nobody's a douchebag. So that always helps, right, Charlie?
Yeah, no, you're not. There's nothing I hate more than a douchebag.
Yeah,
know?
100%.
We see plenty of them where I'm from, myself included. We see plenty of them in good old Staten Island.
But yeah, so it's actually a really good feeling. So really,
do they feel like your kids almost? I know you don't like those.
You know, at the beginning,
feel good talks.
Yeah, at the beginning, I would have told you definitely.
Ray would have been like, "Fuck, kid, get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, now as I'm getting older, it is starting to get weird.
I see you care for us.
It's
like,
I felt
like you cared
for me.
It's
a little different now. Back then, it was more. You were always going. Everybody was fighting very often. So Weidman was defend his title. I'm running back to New York for Quinn or Aljo or something. So I never really even had the time to reflect on it until now. So now it's good sitting here and talking about it. Yeah, I didn't realize it as I was going through it. It was just like normal, everyday stuff. Believe it or not. But now it's like. It's pretty fucking cool. These guys are all doing great, and it was a lot of rough times with everybody. A lot of people just watching them go through adversity. I think that's the biggest thing, and never giving up. Even Aljo. Look at Aljo, man. He was supposed to fight Ronnie Yaha, I think his name was, and that guy backs up, so they put Marlon Moraes. Well, Moraes was a killer coming up right after the World Series of Fighting, wherever he was fighting from. And it didn't go good for him, but he sucked it up and he went on a run after that and became a champion. So morale losses at the beginning on the local scene and in the UFC. Never quit. You know what I mean? Weidman, 2,000 surgeries, he's still going, So
there's something special about our room.
Yeah, think about it. Serra dropped from the UFC. Dropped. Gets a call. We're doing this thing, the comeback show. All guys that were in the UFC that were thrown out. And I remember him calling me and going, dude, we got one shot. That's it. We got to do this. And then I said, let's do it. And we just got together. He wins the show, goes on to fight St. Pierre, and the rest is history. But he was out of the UFC. We didn't even know where we were talking about going to Japan and fighting before he got that.
I actually didn't know that. I actually didn't know that part. I didn't know that he was on. He was already getting cut.
He was out. No, he was cut.
Wow, that's news to me.
Think about it.
That's actually crazy. And then the Ultimate Fighter 4. Yeah. 4 was, right? Comeback. It was called Comeback or something like that. I remember this. I remember all this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've been such a locked-in fan for such a long time. And probably a good decade before I ever stepped foot in your gym, I was a huge fan.
Yeah,
just of New Yorkers, Al, Serra,
Well, it's funny
Longo.
because there was I don't even know who the hell that was, but we're watching Weidman knock out Anderson Silva, and somebody told me, it was like 9 years old. I remember that like it was yesterday. I go, 9 years old? I mean, that was the weird part of the story for me, because I was already 70 when he won, so it was horrible. So it's crazy. Just the upsets and, Serra, nobody gave him a chance. It was, I couldn't even get through an interview. One time I was doing an interview for like the Countdown special, and they asked me a question. I go, no, Serra, he's harder to hit than you think. The camera guy started laughing. No,
That's crazy.
You couldn't get through an interview.
Crazy.
People thought you were crazy. It was horrible.
Like this. It's like, Serra, he hits pretty hard.
Oh, laughing. Guys laughing. No, they weren't even. They weren't even covering it up though. They were just laughing. They were laughing.
Those motherfuckers. Now
you've had a lot of those, comeback stories, those big upsets in the UFC world. I know it's tough to put your finger on one, but which moment was your favorite? You think?
I would never. No, they're all my favorite. Everybody, I would
see,
never.
That's why
I knew you were going to give
that's like
the
a fatherly thing to say. It's like they're all my favorites. I love them all the same.
I had a guy, Costa Filippo. I don't know if you remember him.
Okay.
Costa was good, man. He was on like a 5-6 fight win streak before he left the gym. But he was very sensitive, and he'd say, "No, you like Weidman first, then Quinta, and then maybe me." I mean, he would actually be complaining to me about this. I'm like, you're just out of your mind. But Costa was really good, but he was crazy. Yeah, but
he's a badass too.
He was a badass. Yeah, so but he would no, it's you like Al and Weidman better than me. I mean, what is this? You know, like, what am I, the daddy? Like, you know, this guy, you know, one son. There's some others brothers, you guys have no idea who they are. They used to do a routine where they were brothers, and the guy would always go, Mom always liked you better than me. You know what I mean? And that's the way I felt. It was crazy.
So you've been around the block in the game. You know, you've coached, you know, from legends to champs to, you know, now, you know, other family members of people you've already coached, like the Serras. How crazy is that? You know, to go from here to here. You know,
I love the local shows too. Though,
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying not a matter of like here to here and that saying a matter of going from all the way back to the top,
like a circle,
all the way back to the bottom now, and let's restart the process with the same family essentially.
Yeah. Well, he loves it. I'll tell you that, because you see some of the videos they put up now where I was training him 20 years ago or 15. Now I'm training his daughter. So, you know, it's fun. That's actually fun. She's awesome too. She's gonna do great.
Is that the first like father-daughter you've coached? Or have you coached?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. But I only have 2 guys where I trained them for a long time. Mikey Ice is another. I train his kid now. It's gonna be a beast. But yeah, it's all good. But wait, man, this is like what, 15 minutes? We haven't even talked about Naz yet. I feel uncomfortable because this is not. I mean, I'm so impressed with you. You were able to hold back and not even say anything.
Listen, I'm just disappointed this isn't a room full of winners, so I could sit with a bunch of winners.
There he goes.
I just saw that quote. It's right there. It's a tweet of Kanye.
Hey, what did he say?
He goes, I have it right here. What is it? What does that tweet say? Oh. I need a room full of mirrors so I can be surrounded by winners.
Oh,
I resonated with that so much.
There you go.
But this isn't about me, Ray. I actually, genuinely, we wanted to chop it up like this, and now, you know, we have just some cameras in front of us, and
we're getting to you though, baby, because you're on a roll. Come on.
Thank you.
How do you come off of that Baku fight? Charlie Quinn, surrounded by your people,
first time,
acting like a lunatic, and he made it out alive. I'm very disappointed that he could make it out of that arena without getting a beating. I'm impressed with this guy. That's another thing. Those guys.
This is the thing, because he was accepted fast, and then he adapted the name Quinzadeh, which is
maybe that's it. Yeah, he had Sadykhov written across his forehead.
I most definitely deserve some sort of ass kicking.
I don't know how you made it out of it.
You guys could have heard. You heard me from the other corner.
Those fans were crazy.
Yeah,
when I saw 12-year-old kids jumping on the hood of the car while it was moving just to get a look at you was...
Yeah, well, I had no idea, you know, I knew, but, you know, I'm going nuts the whole fight. I'm screaming at the corner. Goes to get lunch the next day. I realized that his good old friend Rafa, you know, they got the same type of corner and coaches, and I'm just like, damn, I got to learn when to shut up sometimes these events. But...
And that was good. You had Rafa on... Did you have him on the first episode?
Yeah.
What else? Is he in Vegas?
Yeah, he's in Vegas for a little bit.
Nice
he's
guy.
recovering his knee from the
really good guy. You know, I got to spend some time with those guys at the airport going back, so what a nice guy. Yeah.
You know me, Ray. I'm an amazing person, so I'm surround myself with amazing people.
I love it. But come on, tell us, I want to know, how did that feel in front of your home? You talked about Baku for so long, or Azerbaijan, whatever, you know. I always said, the guy's out of his fucking mind. We're never going to Baku. And then when he even told me, I go, he's lying. Like, I don't believe it.
He's just bullshitting him.
He's bullshitting. I don't know what the hell. But how did that feel? Great. You had your dad there. Yeah.
It all feels great. The bonus, the money. Yeah, but what feels better than anything else is that I've been trying to get you to pronounce Azerbaijan from 2019.
No, man, let's do it now. Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. There's a ZH, but okay, it's
but if it was a close.
We're a ways away from what he originally said. He said, and where are you from? I said Azerbaijan, and he goes, Alakazam? Where?
No, I have no. I'm really bad.
And then it was just, I didn't even try again. I'm like Turkey, Russia, Iran here, Russia there.
Oh, there's guys that come in the gym, they tell me their name, I go, from now on, you're John Smith.
John Smith from
I
down the
couldn't
street.
pronounce a name. I look at a room, I can't pronounce anybody's name.
There's too many of them now at this point.
I can't do it, you know. But that fight was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely.
What were you thinking in during the exchanges or against the cage? I heard everybody. Yeah. I heard you guys. I wasn't able to hear. I was locked into the defense. I wasn't really able to hear your
My
thoughts
thing
on it.
it was always the same with you. I think you have the ability to not even get hit if you don't want to, you know. But I think for you need that to wake you up. But I was getting a little worried, but the fact that you did the same thing as that time you were sparring Frevola, remember when you started sinking down? I go, look, I have seen it before, so that's not the first time I seen him do that. But then it got a little crazy on the floor, and I go, man, I just hope the ref doesn't stop.
Yeah.
They go, you know,
So same thing as everybody. What'd you think of Baku?
Baku was nice. You know, from what I saw, the restaurant was beautiful. We went there. I love the guys that own it. You know, I met the one. No, really good guy. Yeah, shout out to those guys. Unbelievable.
And your buddy Algoon from Baku.
Algoon actually made the trip for me. There's nothing like seeing Algoon at a time and a place where you haven't seen him for so long. Yeah. When he pulls up,
He just appears.
he just like look at him. It's like Kramer on Seinfeld. I just look at the guy and I go, I love this guy. He's the best. Man, we had a lot of fun with him in the gym too, though.
Yeah. I wish he pursued. I wish he was
I told him to come to the gym because, I don't want to torture the guy, but he was funny in the gym. Yeah, he was funny in the gym. So, good dude though. But he really did kind of. It's funny when you're in a foreign place and you see guys you know from back home.
Yeah.
I think your guys' dynamic is hilarious. You and Algoon's dynamic.
Oh no, it's crazy.
He doesn't really say much. He's just smiling and laughing.
He's just
all
happy
the
to
time.
be there.
He's just like, yo, Algoon, what's up? He's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some other stories that you know. I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, he was telling a story last week that like when we crossed the street in Azerbaijan, he would like put his arm under my arm like he was like my dad or something, and like I didn't understand the culture, and he was telling me last week.
What I don't even know that.
You're just holding arms just crossing the street, just looking out
Like
for each
walking
other.
out
It's
to
like
the
a
field
touchy.
of football, like-
Azerbaijan, like if you look at just the people's behavior, right? You take the background information out of it, right? Oh, this is Azerbaijan. If you just put Italians and Azerbaijanis side by side, you're gonna see not the same thing, but you're gonna see a lot of similarities: kissing on the cheek and holding
That's
arms.
interesting,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the touchy stuff is
I
not
did
gay
do a
like
lot
in the
of
States.
kissing.
Yeah.
What's gay in Azerbaijan is to wear shorts, and that's what Charlie did at the fullest extent.
So to be fair here, it was 100 degrees outside. That's one. Two, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It is what it is, man. Like it was hot outside. And three, for weigh-ins, ceremonial weigh-ins, and fight night, I had pants on. I didn't have shorts on. So I respected the two biggest days of his trip.
Indeed, had pants. He did.
I respected the two biggest days of his trip, and we moved forward. You know what I mean? It's that simple.
But I will say this: the people were beautiful.
It was so nice.
And a couple of like when we went out to eat, a couple of like those streets looked like Beverly Hills. They had like Armani, Gucci stores. I would have never expected that in a million years.
You're talking about the Targovo town center.
Yeah,
it's where all the shops were and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, a bunch of people taking walks and stuff.
Yeah, that's where we pay. Yeah. So it was a great experience, and nothing's better than getting a win like that. You know, the only thing I'm disappointed is that the girl didn't have me tell him he got the 100,000. She went to poor Maddie. I go, Maddie, she goes, I didn't have your number. I go, Charlie was excited. That was a great moment too, though, man.
He was mad and I didn't tell him to put pants on.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm not gonna ruin that moment. That moment was just like a one-on-one type of experience that you need to just
And that doesn't happen a lot where you get Fire Night Performance of the Night, you know? So,
Yeah. Oh, so I think Jerry did it like last week or something like that.
Did he?
Yeah, it's always when like you do something somebody hasn't done in a while, the following week they'll follow it. Like
That fight was nuts.
Yeah, for a week we were the fight of the year. This is 100% the fight of the year. Josh Ravan and Vidal come out and put on another banger.
Yeah, but you're up there. That's not gonna. That's,
Top three minimum.
Yeah, that's not going away. For
Minimum.
Sure. Definitely not going away.
Yeah, I'm trying to get past it. I already have my next fight not contracted, but it's set in stone. Pretty much just verbal agreements and stuff, and like I wanted to move past it, but people like literally still congratulating me. I literally got a congratulations today at the PI. And it's like, bro, I'm done with the congrats. Let's move on. I got other shit to do.
That's true too.
I understand, you know.
But that's almost like when you're asking me, like, what about this fight? I'm gone already. Like after Weidman beat Anderson Silva, man, I did an interview the day after, and they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I quit this fight next week. I'm helping on
There
the
you
next
go.
plane." And you don't even have time to, like you say, like you have a little more time because that's all you're doing is fighting for yourself. I had like 5 other guys. You got to just keep going. If I start sitting there and want to suck up all the thing about Weidman, Anderson Silva, I'm not gonna do my job with the other guys. It's just
Ray, what's your thoughts behind, because for as big of a personality and a name that you have been in the MMA space, you've stayed relatively, you've almost, from what I noticed, forced yourself a little bit in the background, and you're not so vocal about your achievements. Like, you do interviews about them when you're asked about it, but you put other people in your position, they're wearing it completely differently than the way you have. So what's your thoughts behind that? What thoughts go behind?
I mean,
do you feel like, is it like one of those things? Okay, listen, let the fighter get all the shine. Let stay away.
1,000,000%. Honestly, because I'll be honest with you, I really feel. I'm saying this. No, I have nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are in there taking the beating. Why would I want to suck away any of that? What I'm doing, I get to sit back and watch you. I want to motivate and encourage you, and just always, it's like, as a coach, you want to hoist the guy up when he wins and be a safety net when he falls. You know what I mean? So, like, when I had Serra, I wouldn't even do an interview. Like, Serra's first 5 fights I was training, but he was with Renzo. So when they said who trains him, it was always Renzo. And Matt would go, dude, I feel so bad. I tell him it's you. And it was, like, obviously it was going to Renzo too, but Renzo had a bigger name. I was a nobody. But I would tell him, I really don't, you don't even have to mention my name. I mean, I was friends with the guy, and I would do whatever it took to get him to the place he wanted to go. So from the beginning, Serra beat GSP. I'm going to tell you, I think I did 1 interview. I wasn't even picking up the phone. I don't know why. I just didn't care. And then when Weidman came along, I don't know what changed. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but I started talking more. And he kind of started me on that. For whatever reason was, that's when I became more vocal. And then maybe because I was starting to know more people. I don't know what it was, but
nobody's saying you don't have to. I just feel like it's a very specific. Like myself too. Like I don't market myself nearly as much as my fighting markets itself for me.
Well, that's what I think. But that's better. I think. I'm not saying it's better from a business standpoint, but it's like me. You want me to start telling people my accomplishments? I feel like a douchebag. If they want to recognize them, that's different. But I don't want to get into that crap. It had nothing to do. I was a martial artist first. I would never do that. I just can't see taking credit when a guy's in there getting his ass beating somebody's ass and dealing with the pains. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And if I could add something to it or help a guy get from point A to point B, that's kind of what I like. So I think that's what I like, and that's my comfort zone. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I would never. And then you watch other guys, some other coaches, and then I look and I go, man, I never want to be like that. Like that I'm never doing, So.
Yeah, it's I never sat well with me when the personality of a coach becomes as big or bigger than the fighter and stuff. It's like, it's okay, cool, but just
And I think it happened to me not by my part. I think the media did it. You know what I mean? So I just told somebody that. The guy goes, why are you laying in the bed? I said, I don't want to take away, because if I walk in the room, they're going to come right to me and start asking me questions. I might not have nothing to do with anything. So a lot of times I'll just, I want other people to get shined to. I'm good at this point. I did it with, I'm happy with what I did, and I think we're in the history books forever. So
you think you still have more left to do?
We got more left to do, Nazim. You kidding me? We got a lot up and coming. I think we got some good guys, I think we got you're leading the list right now, so that's
I'm ready.
That's
I'm ready.
Good, man.
I'm ready to be number 5, Ray.
You got to do it.
I'm ready.
We have to do it. So
you've done a really good job of over the last couple of years getting yourself. You've always obviously been in the spotlight, and Nazim just said that you don't usually talk about it, but now you got this podcast with Anik and Florian. Yeah. I give you a lot of credit for that because you're doing a lot of that, traveling across the world every week. And you're still making the commitments to that podcast every week. And I'm sure there's weeks you do not want to have to go do that.
This morning was one of them. For the first time, I said, look, I haven't slept in 24 hours. I go, let's leave it like this. I'll either be there at 8:30 or I won't be there at 8:30. I can't even commit that I'll be there because I'm freaking delirious right now. And then I did make it at 8:30, but the Wi-Fi at Palace Station is horrible. So I had to go outside, and it wasn't a good day. But I do love that party. They're great guys. Love Kenny, love John. And you know, it's funny. It was probably about 7 years ago when I was at a fight, and Anik goes to me, he goes, look, we want you to do this segment. It's going to just be 1 minute. That's what he said. It'll be 1 minute, and I promise we won't talk to you about fights or anything. It was more like going to be current events, So I said, yeah, let's do it. And then that's it. Within like 2 weeks, it just,
rolled into something.
1 minute went to 10 minutes, and we're talking about it. Then it just became a blast. And then, I do have fun with them. I love those guys. And like, again, if I could add something to that podcast, I love it.
How good of, I just got to straight out ask it, I guess, how good is John Anik at his job?
He's actually phenomenal.
He's tier 1, man. Like, I don't usually like to glaze, but
but if you ever look at the guy's notes,
he has everything to a T detailed. I've seen it.
Like, I'm an accountant. I was an accountant.
He's a ninja for sure.
Yeah, I was an accountant. Went to college. I think one fight he's taken more notes that he shows me I've ever done in my whole life. Like, he's got pages of shit. Like, it's got to be hard to prepare for that, So I'll tell you one thing. He's definitely the most well-prepared guy out of everybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch him short of anything. Even when I'm doing the podcast, he can retrieve shit out of his head. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm into it. That's crazy.
I like his knowledge because he knows sports.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people in the UFC or combat space that like predominantly know boxing or know the UFC that don't really know anything about like the NBA, the NFL. He knows it all. He's a jack of all trades in that aspect.
And plus, Charlie, he brings the same enthusiasm.
He has that Boston, Massachusetts type of swagger.
Isn't easy. Yeah. Like there's times I do the podcast like a day like that. I'm just not present. I'm really not. He's never off, that guy. He's always on. But again, it's the old saying I even like to tell the fighters, the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And he's an example of that. He prepares right, and that's why I think he's so good. And the same thing with the fight. As you prepare right, you're going to do good. It's all, that's what, when guys talk, I don't even know if they know what they're talking about, but believe in the process. Do the things, the basic things. That's the process. And whatever happens, happens. But most of the times, it's going to work out really good.
No, for sure.
Sounding like a Matt Frevola soundboard.
It's like Matt Frevola, yeah. I don't know if he knows what it is. I think,
He'll be 185 for 2 weeks out from the fight.
Like for Nas, this is the process.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't do this.
There's nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't do this.
Guys, I'm not going to give away my secret. I'm not going to tell you guys what this is. But
that the second you don't do that, I'm going to be worried. Yeah. I'll be freaking worried. Trust me.
Mold sledgehammers, I'm telling you.
Oh, no. Listen.
When Ray had called me the last camp, he's like, what's up with Nazim? Has he been training?
He doing with the strength against? He goes, no, I don't think he does anything. I go, wait a minute. You didn't see him do this? Oh, he goes, no, that I saw him do.
I think he's lifted weights maybe like 3 times this camp.
He likes to throw the ball high in the air.
But, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own.
After Levon broke, I swear to God, he thought both hands were broken. So one was swollen, the other one didn't look bad. So, the first thing I'm thinking, I got to call now. I got to get him on that fucking wrist thing, man. Something's wrong.
Well, it's a wrist thing. It's not really a hand thing.
Yeah, you got to have that. Yeah, you got to.
When you punch hard, when you're a hard puncher, sometimes that works against you. You literally be cracking.
If you don't have the right structure in your hand, you're no question about it. Like I always said that with Phumi. You ever see Phumi's hands?
Yeah, and he cracks.
I go, how the hell are you gonna? How are you gonna avoid breaking your hand? Like you're hitting too hard for your structure,
What does that guy have to do to get into the UFC? Not to put you on the spot with that, but I mean, how many fights does that kid have to win? He's training with all elite level guys and top talent guys. Do you think he's like 9-0, 10-0?
I gotta tell you, man, Charlie. If I tell you, well, I'm confused. I can't even answer that. I don't know. It's almost like it's not what it's not what you know. It's who you know, and he knows, But the guys that he has to get in there with, for some reason, they got a hard on for that kid, and it's fucking awful. It's actually really not right. And, we've been trying for years. There's nobody he goes with that he can't hang with. You know what I mean? Think about how sucky that would be. Like, you can't get in. And you can hang. It's not like he sucks. It's not like he can't. He goes with all the guys that are in there.
Never mind sucks. We're talking about, like, a world-class talent. Like, the 125, it's not a secret. The weight class has always been criticized. It's one of the lesser popular.
Well, that's
I personally love the entire. I'm a fanboy. I love the whole.
I'm with you. Love it.
But Phumi is he's actually going to be interesting to hear on the mic, to build up a fight, to talk his talk, never been touched, never been this, that, all the things he does for smaller promotions at a world stage. And at a world stage is going to be amplified, and a lot of cameras are going to be on him. Like, I think millions, thousands, if not millions of people will be able to resonate with him and who he is much more. You know, and that's why I feel like that's why fans become a fan of somebody in the first place. It's somebody that they can either relate to or dream to be like. Everybody dreams, wow, but Pereira, big, strong, stoic guy, knocking everybody out. You know, who wouldn't be a fan of that guy?
100%.
So it's like, Phumi, I feel like he's going to open so many eyes, including these people that, you know, I've given him a hard time that you're talking about. Like, he would open so many eyes, and he's definitely capable, definitely has the talent, but let's see. You know,
and think about what he has to put up with, too, because guys go, how are you not in the UFC? Yeah. And he's got to sit there and suck that in, internalize it, and, you know, hopefully he just never loses faith in what he wants to do, because it's getting really hard now. But, you know, we went out to breakfast today, and we were talking about when he was sparring Merab for the Dotson fight, because I thought he'd be a perfect, like, sparring partner for that. But him and Merab, they were going at it, man, like going at it. And even, like, I think where did he fight him? In Vegas? Maybe Vegas, but, you know, he was looking for somebody. I remember Merab telling me, he goes, I got to spar somebody, just get me anybody but Phumi. You know, because Pumi's a frustrating motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? So
with Phumi, especially in his weight class, I feel like he's one of those people, he gets in, we're talking about like two fights before they start talking about the title for him.
Yeah, because
I don't see him as one of the guys that would need like a 10-fight win streak and still go unnoticed.
Yeah, I hope somebody gives him a chance in there, and he gets to at least live out, you know, what he's been training for and dedicating his life to. I don't get it, so I feel like, again, I don't even know what to say, except somebody don't like him. That's for sure.
I hear you, man. You've had countless, you know, guys come through the ranks, whether it's, you know, regional or the UFC or even Dana White Contender Series, like this guy sitting to my right. You know, you have another one tomorrow night, Freddy Vidal.
Yeah.
How you feel about that? Second time, you know, usually don't see the double Dana White Contender Series match, but when you see it, it's usually a positive thing. It's definitely good.
I think Dana really did the right thing with that one, because like even Bo Nickel, the guy was a national champ. He's 3-0. He goes in, he kills the guy in 40 seconds, and he made him come back. So I knew going in there, Freddy had 3 fights. And, you know, Freddy's really a work in progress. You know, like there's guys in the gym, you know, like, you know, Damian and Delemy and guys that are, like, they have 10 fights, or Delemy's, 8-1 or whatever the hell. Dylan Montello, you know, you got. So Freddy only had 3 fights. So for him to get the call was surprising, but it was a last-minute replacement. But, man, he stepped up and made the most of it. I give the guy a lot of credit. He had to lose 35 pounds, I think, in a week. And it was, the guy was cramping up. But anybody that looked at him would have never let him fight, you know, commission-wise. And he got in there and somehow pulled it together. So he looks great. I feel good about it. He's still, you know, on the job training. But I think that last fight was one of those things where that fight was worth about 5 fights.
Yeah,
you got in front of the big, you know, this big stage, and you came through. So let's see what happens. You never know. But
I that's what I was saying. That's what I took away from that. I took away more with that part than anything else, than the performance or the way. There's something in this game that either you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
We call it the dog. We have
the dog. I agree. And
he has the dog in him.
He's a gamer. I agree with you 100%.
So under better circumstances, he can perform better, put on a better show, put on a better performance, all that, impress more, and you know who he has to do. So one thing we needed to see from him. Is he going to crumble in the big moment, or is he going to be a dog? And he showed that he was a dog, and that's a big takeaway.
I think
it wasn't a beautiful performance.
No.
But it's okay, because he had the dog in him.
And
now
if you knew what he went through on short notice, it could have turned into a beautiful performance based on that. But I agree with you. So my point is, like, out of everybody, he probably has the least experience, and he's a work in progress. But I think you're right. He's a gamer. He shows up, and he wants to be there. And,
what are these flights like for you? You travel every week to fight 2-3 times a week sometimes.
Fucking horrible.
Like if we had somebody fighting Saturday, you're here in Vegas on Tuesday. Were you here since the wedding, or you went back?
I went back for 2 days.
You went back
2 days.
2 days. Now you're back here. Now you're gonna be back after this, and then probably come back.
And I'll tell you, I feel bad, but I'm promoting a big show with Neglia on Saturday, so I just even travel wise and everything else, I couldn't make Frevola's fight, which I feel bad about. But it's getting to the point where holy shit, man, I don't even know what day it is, where I am. It's a little wacky, but
You excited for that fight though? Obviously you're gonna be
I
tuned
really
in.
am because he took the time off, and
Wait, that's this weekend.
It's this weekend, Saturday,
that's right. So you literally are here Tuesday, and you're literally going to be in another country on Saturday.
No bullshit.
That was my question.
I would have been, but I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to
I can't go.
running the show.
There's like 5 guys fighting. Not that matters, but I am promoting the show with Lou, so I can't leave that show like that.
Drop the news if you want.
Drop what news?
On the future most watched podcasts in the industry. I couldn't get you Joe Rogan, but I got you Charlie Quinn.
Yeah, that's true.
So
close, I guess.
that'll do for now.
Whatever you guys need, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Whatever you need, Charlie.
Thank you.
Let me know.
Nobody in the industry respects me more than Ray Longo. I'll never
tell you
understand
what,
it.
You actually got a fan there. I agree with you. I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out, Charlie. You know, it's not everybody else. I'm trying to figure it out. Well, you got my wife loves you.
She
I think
was
that's
very nice.
I think that's part of the thing. She's a big Charlie Quinn fan.
We came out after he won the fight. We came out the escalator. I was the first one to get
that's
congratulated. I didn't even fight.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you this, Naz. You know, because I see a lot of guys around fighters that in the past I was like, this motherfucker's just one of those hanger on the leeches. But I will say this. That's what I think I like about Charlie. He really wants to see you do good. His heart is in the right spot. He might be wacky, but his heart is in the right spot, and that's rare sometimes. You know, because other guys, you know, they're around you, but there's always an alternative motive or there's something going on. But this guy, his heart is in the right spot. He wants to see you do good, and I think that's priceless. I'll be honest with you. For anybody.
100%. 100% agree with you. And I think that's why Ray likes you, because he has beams for eyes. He sees right through people's bullshit.
He's all about you right now, man, which is great. You know what I mean? Right here. And that's important, I'm telling you, because I've seen, normally it's older guys that latch on, and I go, what the fuck is this, man? You know, they'll throw some money at the guy, and then they just want to get in there, and it's all for the wrong reasons. But luckily, Charlie had no money to throw at you, so he had to do it with the right ways, but to just be a good friend, and that's what he did. But
yeah, it was good, man. You learn a lot about, you know, yourself and another person when you get to another country as well.
yeah, so my point is try not to annoy him too much so you could stick around for a while.
Listen, I had to help his ass out too during the weight cut. You called me 6 a.m. I'm in there cutting the weight with him too. I'm helping. I'm trying my best. Man.
Charlie's doing things outside of media. Like supposedly we had this deal on like, hey, listen, take him on social media. He's done like almost everything but that.
I can't talk to him. No, I got to tell you, I can't talk to him knowing those funds because he scares the crap out of me.
Intense.
The weight cut's horrible. He's not. I don't know what's going on. This guy's no
Luka
good.
gave him a sip of Coke Zero.
He gave me a cigar to smoke while he was in the sauna.
This is bullshit.
I mean, I'm like, holy fucking shit! This can't be happening right now.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. That was
He brings that Staten Island craziness with him. That's the problem.
But listen, that Staten Island craziness is somebody will throw it down with you.
But again, even with that, Naz, his heart was in the right spot.
Yeah.
He didn't know. He articulated like a nut to me, but I could tell his heart was in the right spot. So I got to break down, you know, what's reality and when he's going crazy. But yeah, when he said, you know, Luka gave you a cigar, I go, that can't be possible.
This guy was drinking soda. I'm like, well, this can't be normal. He was like, no, we're good.
He's giving him cheese and crackers now. I'm like, fucking
Ray, here comes the sub sandwich. What the fuck, Ray?
Yeah.
Why is he having salami right now?
Yeah, because the weight cut crap is like, I stay out of that. I want nothing to do with that, you know. Because even when Serra had to make 155, which is crazy, because you look at him now and you think he should have been up 35. Yeah, but he is fucking strong, jacked, right? But 55, he was miserable. So I used to have to walk away from him and put somebody else in there with him. Like, I can't. You know, we're good friends. He's barking, you know, he's upset, you know, whatever. You go crazy when you make him wait, like, you know, especially when.
So that's the last few.
Yeah, it's the last. So you don't want to be like, you know, I would tell him, like, you got like 2 times to yell at me for whatever reason, like, you know, nonsense. But then I'm out of here. I'm not doing this, kids. and I'll do anything for you. But
How grumpy, man? I'm not that grumpy, am I?
You're all right. You're not that grumpy. Like, I had to force him to stand. Me and John Wood had I remember in Baku, he had like one more go left. He's like a pound and a half off. And he's like, I gotta get out. And we're like, just do the 5 minutes and you'll make the weight. He's like, I gotta get out. We're like, no, like, just get in the fucking sauna, dude. Like, just figure it out. Got in the sauna and he made the weight and he was good. But
It wasn't even.
I ate McDonald's on fight week around him. I can't complain about anything.
I didn't care. I didn't care.
You got to be careful with toe.
Took a whiff of the barbecue sauce.
To be fair, I waited and shit like that. I have to now address it because I got a lot of shit from that. People commenting, coaches, fighters. They were like,
I'm telling you, you're fine, bro. I'm the one telling you.
And they were like, why would you do that? I'm like, first of all, it was 3 a.m. I thought he would be sleeping. I waited, until he went to bed, and I didn't walk in his room with it. It was in a different room.
The difficult part was not all of that. That's all BS. The difficult part was the fact that the sauna was very hot. Usually, saunas, like in the States, let's say, they'll have like an electric sauna, just to keep it a little warm. It's a hotel sauna. How much are they really going to invest into saunas? Yeah. Baku, sauna, banya, is like part of our culture basically. You're gonna have a good banya, a nice hot banya, a nice hot it's not a steam room, what was it? A sauna room. Nice hot sauna room on the rocks. It wasn't even an electric one, it was on the rock. It was real hot. Yeah. So the room was hot. It was very hot. It was very painful for me to make weight. It wasn't because the weight cut itself. I couldn't sit in the sauna. It's because it was burning hot. Every time I got in there, it was like touching fire. It was really bad. Yeah. Even Khalil said the same thing. Everybody that came in the sauna said the same thing.
Because I tell you, I saw like one of the things, you had crazy weight cut stories. Like Weidman's thing in Chicago when he fought Damian Maia.
Oh, let's hear this.
I mean, that was, I gotta say, 30 pounds in 7 days.
Short notice?
Oh, short notice. But Weidman was crazy. For his debut, he had a broken rib. And the doctor said by the time you fight, it'll be healed. He just didn't care. That was probably 10 days notice. He already had the broken rib, so like a couple of days it would have been fully healed. But you're fighting Sakara, who's a boxer, basically. So, when I saw him ripping body shots to one, I go, holy shit, this is gonna be bad. But luckily he did what he always did. But so 30 pounds and like I might be wrong, it was a week or under. And he had 5 pounds to go. 5 to 3, and we put him back in the sauna for 15 minutes. He came out, he didn't lose an ounce. So there was nothing going on. I'm begging the guy, he's collapsing on the floor, and I'm begging, just take the fine. They're not going to care. You took the fight on a couple of days' notice or whatever the fuck it was, and he just refused to do it until he made that freaking weight. And then, I remember after the fight, we just looked at each other and go, never doing that again. That was bizarre what he did. When he came out of that sauna and didn't lose an ounce after like 15 minutes, how the fuck you getting the weight off? He just mentally pushed through it and kept going. Not his best performance, but he did force Damian Maia down to 170. Maia that was the last time he fought at 85 because Weidman was going for chokes on him in the first round. Like Weidman was crazy at the beginning. Really, really crazy. But that weight cut story that I witnessed was Freddy was right there for his Contender Series fight, but I didn't see the whole thing with him with Weidman. I was kind of there with him the whole thing. It was
that's how the way you're describing it is how Dennis was for his Nashville debut.
Yeah. Well,
the dude went from pale to purple to purple to green. I never seen a human being that color. Yeah. What was it, 22 pounds in like 2 days?
Yeah.
Crazy. I never seen anybody turn that color. And I really was worried I really thought he literally wasn't going to make it. Like, dude, we might fucking end up in the hospital if things get any worse than this. And I literally watched him transform colors. He went from pale when he was like 10 pounds out, then he like 6 pounds out, he's like purple, and then he just goes green, and then he's just not moving.
Where do they draw the line on that type of stuff, like from fighting? Because like when you think of Aljo,
now the doctor jumps in.
Aljo just fought Ortega, and they were making it like Ortega was in the hospital, he was dying. Well, and then you look at him.
Let's say this, probably, I don't know that, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But probably if that fight's in Vegas, it's not happening.
Right, yeah. That's
you're in China.
Anything can happen.
I mean, like again, anything could happen. I think the worst weight cut I said wasn't my guy, but it was Kenny Florian. Florian fought in like 4 different weight classes, and he went down to 45. And Weidman was fighting Jesse Bonfeld. We're in Vancouver. And it's like, I'm here, you're Florian, and Weidman's here. We're just waiting for the weigh-in, for the, to get weighed in. And Florian is like, he's out. I mean, he is out. And I'm looking, he's got no team. I knew him already, but where's his team? He's just sitting next to me. And the UFC had an accountant, and the guy was a typical right out of Central Casting. But he looked like an accountant. But he's like, hey, buddy, you got to fill out the forms. You got to fill out the W-2. You got to do the 1099.
That is the immaculate.
Look, he's going like this. He would come to Kenny, and Kenny couldn't even answer him. He didn't have the energy to even answer him. So he's just sitting there like this. Then the guy would walk away. And he'd come back, hey, buddy, you got to fill out the 1099. You got to do the fucking year. You got to do it. Kenny's sitting there like this. Now I can't even take it no more because I could see Kenny is done. So I tell the guy, buddy, I go, take a fucking night, man. The guy's fucking ready. I gotta go.
New York.
I gotta go. I can't do it. I can't. He's torturing the guy. The guy can't even answer him. So look. So I go, buddy, take a fucking night, man. The guy's making weight. He'll do it after the freaking weigh-in. Right? What are you? He has like the guy had no concept about making weight or what these guys are going through. He just wanted his fucking 1099 filled out or whatever fucking form.
That's the most horrifying thing about it all is there's people talking to you like you're just the regular day. You're just taking a stroll.
But Naz, this is how bad it is. So the guy leaves because I get rid of him. Kenny's looking this way. He doesn't even look at me. He doesn't say thank you. This is what I feel on my leg. That's what he had the energy to do. He couldn't even talk to me.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to say he's got to be the worst. Weidman, for my guy, was the worst for me, but probably second. But you got to remember, even with Chris, they had no ceremonial weigh-in, so you had the one weigh-in at 4. So I had to have a chair. Like, he couldn't even stand on line.
Damn.
So he had to sit down, and then when the line moved, we'd have to get up, and I'd have to...
That's crazy.
I tell you, but, mentally, you got to be strong as hell, and you got to, you're going to hit adversity where it's all mental, and you better be able to handle it because you're not getting through this career without some sort of shitty adversity hitting you. So
you think the rise of the media and the popularity in the sport is helping fighters now, or it's hurting them, because mentally it's a little bit, more difficult to go through it, more eyes on the sport and stuff like that?
Yeah, to get him.
Are you kidding me? This guy walks into T-Mobile Arena. Oh, here we go, defending the title.
Wait, was that you that said that?
Yeah,
I was walking out.
Yeah, like he's going
I gotta tell you though,
to the kitchen.
What's funny?
In the middle
when
of the
he
night
said that to me, I go, he's definitely in tune with what the fuck I'm doing because I gotta tell you, I was almost bored walking out from Merab's last fight. Like,
literally, you could see it on his face.
And then he says that to me, and I'm like, well, I got to get more excited, I guess, for these things. I don't want it to look like, but I don't have.
He's just in his own world. He looks. You look bothered being there. You're like, oh fuck, here we go again. 25 minutes.
And as good as that fight was, I never felt he was in any danger. Nothing.
He's crazy, man. The fact that I know now it's news, it came out today, he's booked again for December. Like, how is that normal? 4 defenses in 1 year.
That's all it really is. The world got to see the crazy gem that we had in the gym the whole time.
I mean, yeah, he's crushing records.
And then there's Merab, too. I was talking about myself being the gem. Are you talking about Merab? Oh, okay.
Listen, Merab was always the guy from day one. I remember Weidman's father-in-law going to me, that's the next guy. Because, class, everything would be done. He'd fucking get on the treadmill for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, while everybody's taking a shower, One time there was, Aljo was fighting. I forget who the hell he was fighting, but he's going to spar Merab. Merab does 3 rounds before he spars Aljo. And I remember Aljo going to me, goes, stay fucking with me right now? Like, that's how almost like it's disrespectful.
Yeah,
he's sparring 3 rounds, and then he's going to spar me. And Aljo was already at a good level, but he needs to do all. I think Khalil came out with something that we've been talking about forever, saying he does this all the time.
And that's not included. And then John followed up and said that's not including the 5 rounds he had in the back.
100%. Now this time, for the first time, because John had Khalil, so he asked me how'd he do? I go, it wasn't normal. Like he always, because Aljo, I think, was drunk because of his wedding. He was out the night before. So, Charlie,
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to get totally beat up. So it wasn't the craziness we normally see, which is better because less chance of anybody getting hurt. But so Merab normally, which is true, he does 10 rounds. He'll do 5 rounds at the shakeout, and then he'll do 5 rounds in the back. Craziness, though. One share, we were in Baku. He wasn't even fighting. He's full-fledged wrestling on the carpet.
I do my shakeout.
Yeah, and then
I do my shakeout, and then he
stayed.
grabs my training partners and he starts sparring.
Right.
All of them on rotation.
Terrio, right? Was one of the guys.
Yeah, and then he started spelling Asaf. He was going with all of them.
He just took all my friends on
They're
rotation.
They're on the carpet.
He just ran through all my friends.
There's like a plug-in in the middle of the carpet.
Nobody gave a
They
shit.
didn't give a shit.
Nobody gave a shit.
I put a bag down. Rob's like, brother, what is this? Get this out.
I'll tell you, the only thing he's ever done where I go, I can't even look at it, when he's on the ledge throwing knees. And I can't. I won't look at it. That scares the shit out of me. I did know a couple of guys that never made it off that ledge, man.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Wait, which ledge?
There's a video of him. He's like shadow boxing. He's throwing a knee on top.
Yeah. The jumping knee.
I was like, can't fucking look
God.
at it. I have a hard time with that, man.
Yeah, man. That fight getting announced today, and then there was a couple more I have. Pantoja and Van got announced today. How crazy is that kid's story? He was like,
Van?
he got knocked out to, I think, Charles Johnson, and then he was ranked, he won a couple fights, he was ranked 10th, and he got just, that shot. He fought Royval. Fight of the year, second fight of the year. I don't think it was a fight of the year. If you ask me, it wasn't.
No, we know what the fight of the year was.
Wasn't that great?
Dude, listen,
We know what
dude.
the fight of the year
But
was.
how crazy is that? Anything can happen in this game. Overnight, your life can change.
Let me ask you, in that fight, did everybody leave with their teeth intact?
Think so, yeah.
Well, that's my answer. That's the answer to your question. We got the fight of the year right here.
Sitting to my right.
Ooh, I just realized what you said too. That's fucking crazy.
But think about it. Well, shout out to Obi's all right. I'm not doing it like that, but that fight was brutal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was brutal, that fight.
But, it gives him opportunities like, we spoke about last week. He was booked to fight Gamrot, who just had fight this weekend, Massive things come on the way from...
Yeah, that's the
stuff
thing
like
about
that.
this game. You stay active. That something is gonna come up. That you're just in the UFC. Okay, they know you're active. You're looking to fight. You're looking to make money. You're looking to be active, and that always works in your favor. And I think Joshua Van fighting every 2 months did him this huge favor.
You got to be in there.
And he has the performances
win or lose.
too.
If the losses you can grow from, win or lose, who cares?
Yeah,
Stay
I
active.
did not
If you got
see-
the talent, you're gonna get there. And even think about poor Moda, man. 75 punches against the cage, and how does that feel? I'm knocking this motherfucker out. He sees the 50 grand, and then it's like, what the fuck is going on? The guy's coming, he's chasing me like
back up.
it's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying that's going to hold its weight in gold for fight of the year. There's no question. But I don't think there's going to be many things that could top that because it had everything. It had one guy winning, the other guy went back and forth. Then one guy's almost out, or it appears like he's almost. Then he's coming back, and those are the things. Those emotional fights are really when you're on the edge of your bed and your heart's pain. You don't even
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I mean?
And we
Not a
got
single soul I've spoken to didn't say yo, dude, my heart rate. My
100%.
my this, my
And that's
that.
what I'm saying. So if you're watching a fight and it's a good fight, but your heart rate isn't, then it's not fight of the year. It has to be that whole everything together. So that definitely holds weight.
Where do you put that in all the fights you've seen? You've been in the sport 122
Yeah, I have
years.
to really go back and every time I don't have the recall, but that fight. So recently that was that. So that's what's sticking in my head right now. I'm sure there's got to be a couple of fights, but
Rory versus Robbie Lawler. Was it the rematch or was it their first fight? Or I don't even know if they had two fights.
that fight was good. The one where he stopped at the inches of his nose.
He just never was the same.
You had a stoppage, right? So it makes a big difference. It wasn't like the fight went 3 rounds.
Yep.
So I like the Rory fight as an example. But again, I'm not emotionally invested in those guys. So, of course, I'm going to go with his fight because, you just want to see the guy do good. So you're almost having a fucking heart attack. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I could never get emotional about two guys that I like, but I don't know as much as I do with somebody I know. So so maybe I'm biased, is what I'm saying. You know.
That definitely makes sense.
What we got, Charles?
Obviously, we talked about Merab's news, but it's kind of shitty. You know, it's kind of messed up not to talk about the the news that.
Same card, Ray. You're gonna have to
big
make that
guys
walk twice more.
Man. I'm gonna look.
Here we go.
I'm gonna
fight
look
of the
excited
year.
this time.
And
I'm gonna be very excited.
I'll get you adrenaline pumping.
I'm taking off till that fight. That's what I'm gonna do. Prepare myself for that. That's it.
That's right.
No more traveling until that fight.
The Wolf is back. He gets
My
to
dad's
wake
birthday
up.
too.
Is it your dad's birthday?
December 6th.
Good for him. What a great guy he is too. I love Azim. What a good guy, man.
Class. I sat next to him for the fight.
Thank you.
In Baku. I felt
I
bad
put
that
a
he
lot
had to
of-
sit next to me for the fight.
I put a lot of weight on that too, where a guy came from and how he was raised and stuff. So he's just, I love it. I love him, and I love the relationship and the respect you have for your parents is huge. A lot of guys don't do that,
No, man, that's a must. You have to
It's
respect your parents.
very good. So, and he's so happy, and although the funniest part of that story might have been when El Goon forgot to pick him up, and he, like I never really seen Azim get mad, but he was a little like that mother, man, that guy when he forgot me, like.
I felt terrible, man. That was when we were at dinner on Friday night.
No, we were trying to get that done.
Terrible.
We didn't know, and then El Goon went missing. We couldn't even get in touch.
He never
with him.
came back.
No, he never came back at all. Like he left. It's like Elvis. He left the building. El Goon wasn't coming back.
He must have got ripped a new one, and that was that. He was never coming back. But speaking of that dinner out there, you've been in countless countries, countless states. Where's the best food culture?
Listen, to me, it's going to be hard to beat New York for anything. But excluding New York, I just had a conversation. That don't make sense in it, but I thought Sydney was really fucking good.
Really?
Because the Italian food was really good, and it's fresh. Like when they run out of something, that's it. It's over. They don't have shit on ice for 10 years, and then they're heating it up for you. Like it's like almost what I felt. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I felt it was almost like farm to table. You know what I mean? Like once they're out, they're out. So the food. There was a guy at the Contender series from Sydney, and we were just talking about that. So I thought that was good. And obviously, the food in Italy was good.
Yeah.
But everywhere the food's been good. Like even where we went, it's just not my palate exactly, but the hospitality and the food I think was great, man.
Yeah, I agree. Even I was eating it. I like to inspect my food and make sure.
No, I was definitely eating.
I was eating it. It was pretty good.
No,
What about-
definitely top notch. And
Yeah.
I'm more too of an ambiance guy. I thought the ambiance was great.
Yeah.
It was a good feeling over there.
What about you? What outside of New York or Azerbaijan? Where's your go-to food culture?
Damn, man. I don't think I've been to enough Asian countries to make my final decision. Thailand had amazing food, but that's if you like Thai food. And
Yeah,
you
right,
like-
that's
and you're
what- it
specific
depends
to
on
that.
what
I
you
like
like,
Asian
yeah.
food a lot. I eat Korean barbecue, sushi,
Yeah.
Chinese, Filipino. Those freaking. Did you try what are they, banana rolls?
I got one for you in the
Yo,
Oh, wow.
Right,
No
give
way.
those a try. It's a Filipino delight.
Shit. Are you
Yeah, so-
Filipino? Nice.
Yeah. So like I would say somewhere Asian, like maybe Thailand was one of the
We
better
both
places.
like the Vietnamese place too. I mean, the food is clean.
Yeah,
when we go
yeah.
back. Nothing crazy.
But then again, that's New York. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about outside of New
Yeah,
York
I'd like
food
the-
culture,
yeah.
probably Thailand I liked a lot. Mexico, but Mexican food, like I can only have a limited amount because they have carbs on everything. You'll be 300 pounds by the end of the week. No wonder Kevin Gastelum can't make weight. He's Mexican. He's eating Mexican food all the time. It's very hard to make weight.
What'd you say?
Oh, I love,
You're
look
up
at
5
this
pounds
guy.
right away.
I thought
Look
it
at
was
that
gonna
Filipino
be-
dessert.
As long as it's not balut. Is that what they call it?
No,
The guys
no,
like,
no,
don't
no,
make me eat the chicken, please. I can't do that. Yes.
Jackfruit banana on the inside.
Oh wow.
Hold on, I gotta
We
stop
got
you. in your-
taste tests on the show as well.
Oh, it's good.
I gotta stop you in your tracks. What did you say about Kevin Gastelum a couple weeks ago that went viral? He said something about his weight cut.
But first off, first off,
It was great.
I love
loved
Kevin.
it.
I love the guy.
I
Kevin
know it was-
Gastelum's a really
I know it was
nice
taken-
guy from the second I met him.
It was
but-
taken out of context. I know.
No, I said he has an eating disorder. No, I don't know what. I don't think that's bad.
you said that.
I don't think that. What's bad about that? I mean, how do you not make? But here's my problem with
Ray
that.
out here fat shaming this guy.
No, definitely not. Not even.
I knew it wasn't like that. but I just-
Kelvin's the guy's great. But first of all, I blame the UFC for that. So you need a short notice guy. So who do you call? The guy that you know has trouble making weight.
On a full camp.
And then, yeah, right. So you call him for short notice, and then that's it. That's what I said. I said, you put a gun in a monkey's hand and you shoot somebody. Whose fault is it? Like, whose fault is that? They know the guy's not going to make weight. What are the odds of the guy making weight on short notice if he can't do it on a full camp?
You're not wrong.
So who are we
You're not wrong,
blaming? We're
honestly.
going to blame Kelvin?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're not
honestly.
wrong, man.
You're not
That
wrong.
was great, though. I saw that. His name popped up. I said, that was good. That was classic.
I like the guy Elijah. I was kind of trying to defend him, believe it or not, I think.
But you got all these, you get these short notice fights. You get a lot of these behind the scenes fights that happen, like we said before, his fight don't happen. You get all these different things that kind of mess you mentally. Do you think that like superstars in other pro sports would be able to endure this type of stuff? Or, like the normal NBA guy or NFL guy, they sign a contract. They play their 4 years or whatever until they request a trade or bitch out or do whatever. But in the UFC, you kind of, anything can happen. And it could be this tomorrow and it could be that tomorrow. Anything could change.
I'm going to say, not only because fighting is probably the hardest thing you could do one-on-one with somebody, but the way they do it. Because so you can make the case for boxing. The difference in boxing, and I don't know if it's like this now, but back in the day it was like you would get 20 stiffs and they'd build you up to 20-0. You couldn't be 20-2. That wasn't good enough, right? So they build you up to get you a payday, and then that rarely ever worked out because you would never challenge the right way. The UFC ain't fucking playing, man. You could come in off that Contender series and be fighting this guy next.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're not, and vice versa. Even with you, they could give you anybody. You just don't know. So there's no growing process. Like as a coach, you want to incrementally see the guy gets challenged just enough to push him to get better and better.
Yeah.
Now you're thrown into the frying pan like you could be immediately. You know what I mean? So I guess the moral of the story is just be ready to go no matter where you're at. Amateur, pro, well, not amateur, but pro fighting on the local circuit.
It's definitely a different.
Oh, it's a
vibe.
different vibe. You're not getting any. I think when they see a guy that they think they could make money off of, they will handpick his opponents a little bit.
Those 200-pound lightweights that hit like 200 mid-season, they don't have a place. They do have a place in the UFC. They don't have a place in like top 8, let's say, because top 8 guys, you see like the number 8 guy could get a title shot on short notice, replacing the number 2 guy who was supposed to fight the number 1 guy. So you have like situations like this more and more frequently now. So I think now more than ever before, like you can't have an off season. There is no camp. You just kind of have to find your state of flow and stay there all the time.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. So even for a guy like you might be better off fighting a guy in the top 5. Those guys are all getting a little older. They got great name value. They got great experience, better on your record than fighting a guy in the back who's an up and comer who's trying to do the same thing you're doing. You know what I mean? It's where can you get the most bang for your buck when you're fighting? So that's why I think the Gamera fight, or if you had the Moicano fight, those are huge fights, man. You beat those guys, you're right there. And the guy, what did we even say yet? Yeah.
Take control. You go speak.
No, the guy you're supposed to be fighting, he's kind of like you. He's an up-and-coming guy who wants to...
I've only fought guys that in that time at least, they were prospects. Coming off of wins or either... an impressive run or whatever the case may be. I was challenged every single time to the level that I was at.
Which is good, though. But that's perfect, though.
But 5 times in a row does not happen a lot. It's always 2, 3. It's okay. Then we see him against a veteran. 2, 3. Then we see him against a guy who's more on the downside of his career. I'm literally fighting everybody at their hungriest, at their prime, their hungriest, young. Not 48 years old.
The end result will work out good for you.
I'm absolutely stoked for it. I have no rush.
Look, I'm going to say, even on the local scene, with the exception of a couple of fights, you fought some tough guys that really had to push you. You see these guys that fight nobodies now. What do you think's going to happen when they get in there? It's like, you hear Terrence Crawford on Rogan. I think Joe was trying to push him towards, nobody spars anymore. They just drill. And he's like, he goes to Crawford, most people are drilling they don't believe in the sparring because of that. And the guy, I think he was trying to almost lead him into that. And Crawford was like, he goes, what do you do? He goes, dude, I'm sparring 3 times a week. I don't know how anybody gets in there without sparring. Like
Crawford said he's sparring 3 times a week?
100%. Yeah, he's not fucking around, like, you know. But that's not the common thing today.
Yeah.
You know? But if you go to a boxing gym, man, those guys are sparring. You know, like I took Levant to, he's been going to Westbury. He gets, shout out to this guy, Voodoo Pete. He's undefeated. It's like a 47-pound or 50-pound, whatever. That's nothing to him. He'll come in and spar whenever you want him to. Like that's normal for some people. But when you start adopting the mentality, I don't want to get hit, and it's all good. I don't know which way I'm going, to be honest. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, obviously. So it's got to be done the right way. But you got to know what that shock treatment is like when you get in there. Like if you don't have good sparring and you're in that war with Moda, I don't know if you were just drilling like for the last 5 years if you're making it through that. I don't know. You got to be touched up a little bit just so your body's not going, man, it's the first time this ever happened to me. That's what you don't want in fighting.
That's also where you find out. That's also where you find out who's who. You find out who's who in those
100%.
Like it's all peaches and cream when they're giving you guys that you're just running through them first round KOs.
Yeah.
The 60, 70 tickets you sold. You're the man in your town and this and that. But then you come out there into the big show and you get floored on your ass in the first round in your debut in the UFC, which is quite literally happened to me. How do you react?
We're watching it happen recently over and over. It happens on the Contender series all the time.
It a lot, man.
Happens all the time. These guys get opportunities that.
Well, I mean, this is an opportunity when you go into a fight and you're plus 14,000.
Well, that I don't.
You know what I mean? How do you get that? Why are they doing that? Why would you put a guy in there that's going to be a plus 1,400?
That's where you got to blame the manager. I'd have to assume, right? You know, the kid is always going to say, "Give me a chance." And fighters, most fighters, from what I can understand, is. They don't look at the odds on themselves, you know. Me and him have never had a conversation what his odds are before he's fought. So I would have to assume they don't know that stuff and they believe in themselves, like, oh, I could do this, I can fight anybody. But the managers some of those managers got to know, like, your guy's plus 2,500 for a damn reason. Like,
but you're not.
This is not how you get into the Contender series.
Fighters don't work like that. The manager ain't gonna say, I don't think this is a
just
good
give me
fight
the fight and let's keep it moving.
Fight is basically gonna tell the guy go fuck himself. It's fine. You know, it would be rare that.
Yeah.
First off, it should be the trainer telling you, not the manager.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what those guys know at this point, but the trainer, he sees you in the room.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on, and I think you get a better view of everything like that. But somebody's responsible for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And
but I've tried. I've told guys I don't think I want to do it. All right, then do it. Rarely works out. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, most of the times, it doesn't.
You're pretty famous for some of your quotes. You've had some of the most epic, like in between round quotes, on the stool quotes. Have any of your fighters ever been like sensitive or like taking that to heart and been like, "Fuck this! I don't want this. I don't want that advice."
No,
like
nobody's
ever
went
back at the
exactly what we want to hear between.
First off, like
no one's ever challenged.
When I'm looking at the fights, I'm looking, going, "Who the fuck is that guy? What the?" Because I tell you, it's almost like what he said. I walk out of that cage after that, and I'm back to like just chilling out.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happens, but it has to be the right thing, or I'm not going to say nothing. But no, nobody's saying that. The only guy is, I don't think Aljo has any idea what the fuck I'm talking about when I've been here. I swear to God. You know, that time when I was trying to tell him, like, this is the scary guy. Look at him. The guy's fucking, he's huffing and puffing. Oh, Aljo's like, what? He's fucking looking around. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I can't get through this guy.
We're like, look at him. Look at that motherfucker.
And I was trying to say, like, dude, what are we doing? You know, this guy's not as bad as everybody made him to see, you know? So, I don't know. But, yeah, if it feels right, it is right. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes I'm looking at it and go, well, I'm fucking crazy. That thing with Weidman, I had no fucking clue. He has a big party, like after-fight party when we get back to New York, and they spliced that thing, and we were looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Because somebody goes, dude, that was awesome. I didn't even know what he was talking. Then they played, and I go, holy shit, man. But I was really emotional with Weidman.
Yeah.
I was actually really upset. I thought Anderson was trying to clown him and make him look like a fucking idiot. And it was almost like a street fight to me. Like, we got to jump in there. Like, I can't fucking... A couple of things happened before that, too, that And I like Anderson, but it was a little dirty, I think, or childish or whatever. That's why even when they kissed, you know what I mean? It was pretty hysterical. He was trying to get under Weidman's skin in the worst way, man. Weidman, he puckered up and just kissed him. He was.
They didn't kiss.
They kissed. They kissed each other. Go look at it.
And they didn't say pause.
No.
They didn't say pause after.
No, but I think Anderson said I do. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think he took it Weidman as his lawfully unwedded, husband or whatever. But it was like great marriage vows.
I do.
Yeah, but then he did start clowning Weidman in the first round. I go, that's fucking bullshit, man. And dude, trust me, for that fight, like even when I would, not that I could mimic Anderson, but I made sure Weidman understood what he did to like Forrest Griffin. Instead, he's gonna try doing to you, and you can't even remotely buy into it. Like you just can't. It can't be a factor in the fight. Yeah, it can't be a factor in the fight. And at that, we went through 1,000,000 times. To where I'd clown him as I had the belly pan on, holding just so we could see it a little bit. Like I don't know if this all, meant anything, but we did do that and we did address that. 1,000,000%. I hate that crap. You're gonna beat a guy, beat him on your talent. Don't. If you get psyched out or mentally beat, it pisses me off because that you could definitely control. If a guy's a really good fighter, you can't control that. He's better than you. But if he's not better than you and he's fucking with you and you buy into that, then it's on you.
Yeah, mental warfare is a real big thing. McGregor beat Aldo off straight. Just had him mentally ready to just
think
unload.
about how he tortured that guy so bad that he ran in there for the first time,
sprinted at him.
Yeah, and just got caught.
And that's the game, man. That is the game. But there's a lot of guys in the space that, buy into that, annoying, like the Colby Covington style of just being annoying and trying to use the media to build himself up.
What I don't like about that, because when it goes south, you look like a complete idiot.
Well, when it goes south, these guys always hide.
Yeah,
they always,
just,
they never keep the same energy and keep the same shtick. A guy like Kevin Holland, I like, who's always like the funny guy.
But here's the difference. Kevin Holland is organic.
Yeah.
That's who Kevin Holland is.
100%.
Colby's listening to people.
Yeah.
Write his material for him and you got to do this, you got to do that.
It's like WWE.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
But has those same people not have reminded him and said, dude, the gimmick's done. It's over. It expired 4 years ago. Nobody's telling him that?
Nobody's telling him that.
Because he's actually a cool-ass dude in real life. He's actually nothing like that. And I kind of knew this. We all knew. I just thought maybe he's being a full-on prick on camera and then only a halfway prick in real life. He's actually a nice dude. I don't know him well enough. I don't know what he's like.
I don't really know him, so I can't talk. But I know that shtick is not his. Like people are writing that shit for him, and I think that's really stupid.
It's corny. He's 40 years old. Who's
your favorite fighter to watch of all these guys, both entertainment-wise and both in the cage, outside of your guys? Outside of Serra-Longo guys. Who'd you enjoy watching over the years? Who did you think carried themselves well?
I think Pereira, I love watching.
You love watching Pereira?
I love what he did in the last fight.
With the moment of silence, that was powerful.
That was powerful.
He shut everybody up in terms of the fight itself, and then that after, I bowed down to him. I bow my hat to him.
I love it, Texera. Unbelievable guy. Great guy. Humble. Guy was the heavyweight champ. Walk in the room, you wouldn't know. You thought he was the janitor. He don't give a fuck. He's a great guy. Polinio Cruz, the other guy. So Pereira is surrounded by nice guys too. Yeah. So I think that's where it comes from. Plus he hits like a fucking freight train. Dude, you could see the difference in this fight and the last fight. Like last fight, I was like, what is he waiting for? He's going backwards. This
back foot on the versus the front
that's
foot.
not his style.
You could kind of see it warming up. Like when he was working out throughout the week, he looked so fast.
I love when a guy says something and he backs it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. Even Corey Sandhagen in the Merab fight, you could see he addressed every wrestling position. He did his homework for that fight. And unfortunately, just wasn't good enough. But I thought Corey, that's the best Corey anybody's ever seen. I thought he was on the money, but wrong place, wrong time. It just sucks.
Listen, sometimes there's fighters that will make you look not up to par, and you feel like you can have something. Like Merab is that type of guy. I'm sure his opponents, like they maybe go backstage and they're like, oh damn, I feel like I could have had him, but making excuses. But really, his style forces you to fight differently and conservatively. and not only Merab, but there's just like a bunch of people in the MMA game that they seem like they're not effective, but when they're in the cage, there's a certain something, and then you can only know what that person's strengths are or what he's about when you feel him, when you physically feel him, and you physically get in the cage.
I agree. I think looking from the outside, I could see a lot of people going, well, you could take advantage of this, you could take advantage. I get that.
Experts are jumping all over the mistakes he probably makes.
But this guy, what happens is his heart, his determination, and all those other attributes and qualities just override that shit, man. They just override it. And you got to feel like you're a fighter. If you know you're fighting a guy that, like, there's a 99.9% chance he's not getting tired, you got to conserve your energy. If it depends on who you are. But if you're afraid of getting tired, you already lost the fight with him. Yeah. I think you already lost.
Yeah.
And everybody gets tired.
If you start doubling up on your cardio just because you're fighting Merab, you also already lost.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe he was sparring 8 rounds. Whatever Corey said, I think he backed up as well as he could. As well as he could, I thought he did a great job. It's just like, again, wrong place, wrong time. Just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, because even he came out of there saying, I still think I could. I get it, but you're not beating him. Like in Peter Yan, what changes does Peter Yan make to win that fight, Naz?
So I want to be optimistic as a MMA fan and just say what everybody's strengths and weaknesses may be. I don't think Yan is going to look the same as the last fight. I do think he's going to have better moments, and he may create scary moments or a moment of worry for us. But I think ultimately the style that Merab presents is just a nightmare for everybody.
It's a nightmare.
When a wrestler doesn't get tired of wrestling you, and then he can strike. And now we find out he can crack too.
Yeah.
And he can take it, he can give it. It's like, what's really wrong with the guy? Yeah. But then you're watching him and you're like, this isn't the most beautiful striking or wrestling I've ever seen.
Not.
And that's the point I was trying to make is like, you think you can do something about it until you get in the cage with him and realize, oh, this is what people are talking about. Yeah. And you can only experience that if you feel it against him.
One question about it.
So me sparring with him, I can tell you, like, there's a reason why these guys that are world-class strikers or even great grapplers or wrestlers or whatever you want to call it, there's a reason why they struggle against Merab and they can't get off what they want to get off against Merab. It's because when you get in there, it's a whole different story than any game plan you could have ever had.
I agree with that, man. And I tell you, I'm so happy you got that jacket for testing negative for.
I'm working for mine too, man.
Yeah, but you know,
no juice in the
there's a lot of guys you're never going to see with that jacket, though. That's bullshit too. But there's a lot of everybody should be forced to have that jacket. Why is this guy? I'm saying he's the most in the last 2 years. He's the most tested guy out of everybody. I'd make you a bet on. I don't even know.
Oh, Merab, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I actually had people come up to me like on the vibe of like, yo, so what is he on? Like you're in the locker rooms. I'm like, bro, nothing.
He ain't that big.
If I
you know what I mean? He's not that. Like,
but it's not only about size. There's all kinds of different.
He's
really
strong.
But there's EPO where works for cardio and like I remember when Weidman first fought Anderson Silva. I mean, the guy swore to me, they saw him get injected in the neck with something, which they said was EPO. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know what
somebody told me.
I'm not looks like.
Allegedly, I'm not being that guy, but I had that conversation with Merab years ago, and I said, Merab, you could never ever do it. You would fuck everything up. And he told me not happening. He did say it. He goes, no. Because
I literally think we molded him into the machine. It's like I think you mold whatever your nickname is.
Well, I'm gonna
you kind of just mold into
I'm gonna go. He molded himself into the machine.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We'll say that.
We gave him this space to do it.
Yeah.
And the encouragement. Like again, when he fell, we were a safety net to the guy, and when he won, got on into the UFC with that. Looking for a fight, we carry him on our shoulders. And
what a sick moment that was.
What a sick moment. Look how happy that guy is. Look how happy that guy was.
And for a prospect that was so big, that kid never turned it around. Yeah, he was like 18-1, 20-1, and he never got to the UFC.
Yeah,
crazy.
And his biggest fights were Patchy Mixon. I like Patchy a lot, but he's struggling. You know what I mean? And I think it's because he didn't get the quality of opponents he needed to be at this level, although they did bring in a newcomer, and he still should. I thought he should have did way better in that fight. So
that's the thing with the UFC, man. You slip up, or I don't want to call it a slip up. But let's call it. I'm trying to find the words more particular and more specific to the situation. But UFC, even if it's a mid guy in the UFC or whatever, the way the UFC just canvas the aura of the promotion and everything feel, it takes you a little bit to get your feet wet. It takes a little bit for you to just feel yourself in the cage and in the spotlight and everything. At least for me,
I think it's for real. That UFC jitters is a real thing.
The UFC jitters is real. So like you slip up twice, and now it's from all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's a bum. It's like, bro, but he slipped up twice. You just got done dominating some of the toughest guys in the world. Well, how are they the toughest guys in the world? It's not the UFC. So it's like hard to explain all this stuff.
And it could be like you're right. They might be great fighters, but the UFC carries something with it that could change the outcome of a fight.
Yep.
That's how powerful that brand is. Look, we see it, Naz, in the gym. Like you got guys that are good. They don't want to fight anywhere but the UFC. You could offer them $1 million for Bellator.
They don't know what they're asking for. Some people.
They want that recognition of the UFC, and you got to give the UFC credit for branding themselves like that. That
people are turning down that tens of thousands. You could have 10 promotions
like them, and which would make them not a monopoly, but they are a monopoly because people want to be there, man. They don't want to be anywhere else. You don't want to come out and say, you're a millionaire from the PFL. And I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the money. It's about the prestige.
I turned down some money too, Ray, from the other promotions. Like I especially at the time, like I didn't see any MMA money. The money I was seeing was the regional $500. So I was getting some money that I was like, holy crap, this could change everything right now. But I was like, you know what? Let me stick to the UFC. It worked out for the best. Now we cash in quadruple bonuses 100%. And double bonuses and all that.
Look, when Weidman was coming up, we couldn't get him in the UFC. They were even, struggling with him. Like there was a fight in Jersey. He's like, we don't need him. So he was this close to signing with Bellator. They were going to give him a $100,000 signing bonus. The guy's living in his mother's basement. I think he was married at the time. And maybe even had a kid on the way. So that meant a lot to him. And it came down to the last minute. We didn't do it. And I wasn't for it at all. I remember I took him to Philly. So we met with that guy, Bjorn Rebney was the president at the time, not Scott Coker. And it was the night Eddie Alvarez, Lyman Good fought Ben Askren, believe it or not.
Wow, Lyman Good.
Yeah, Lyman Good fought Ben Askren.
New Yorker, that's a name. Wow, Titus Shulman's.
And we met Bjorn, and he kind of said, we'll make you the face. We're going to do a thing with MTV. You'll be the face of MTV. And Weidman was going to go with it. And I was like, man, I just didn't like it. And I said, look, it's your decision. I'll support you any way you want to go. That was my thing with Weidman, was like, you tell me what you want to do, I'll support you. I'm not going to make any decisions for you. Just we'll discuss it. But he was always, I want to do this. And I would think about it, let's do it. And we'd come up with a game plan to succeed. But he was going to do that. Bellator would have been the biggest mistake of his life.
Yeah.
It would have changed
everything.
Crazy.
Yeah. Imagine the signing and then we've never seen the biggest upset in MMA history.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
It was this close, Naz. This close. He was going to do it. And then I think he broke his rib, and then I think
he couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I think something happened where they needed somebody, and then he just jumped on it. That's what I say. He would have fought broken rib and not broken. He was getting in there. That for the younger guys too, you got to be ready to go. You're not going to get a good opportunity.
Yeah.
You're going to get a last minute opportunity. You better be ready to seize the opportunity and make the most of it, because it ain't coming around again. You're not going to get two of those shots, man. You're just not. You know, so.
Yeah, so speaking of opportunities, if you've stuck around with us long enough, we'll close the show out correctly. I'll give the floor to Nazim.
I just want to apologize for, this is episode 2 now where I don't have a fresh haircut and my beard is messy. So I just want to apologize about that. Otherwise, Ray, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you on and chop it up this way finally. And this is for our own history books.
100%. You know, I love you guys. So
and not the last time as well. Yeah. We'll talk about my title defense, my second title defense here.
100%. That's what we want. That's the next one.
Let's hear it.
I'm not coming back until we talk about that.
Sounds good. That's a good deal.
And I apologize for not
Not the
having.
seconds I did, but when I win it.
I apologize for not having a brush to actually comb my hair for this thing, but I figured
That's why Charlie wore a hat, you know. But
Charlie, when Charlie said he was running it, I go, he's gonna have makeup there and shit. I don't have to comb the hair. I'll have the
Just
makeup
happy to meet
people
you.
come in and still me up and.
instead, you got a banana
What
tree.
do they call this?
To run.
Let me tell you, first off, unbelievable. This is delicious. You can't be healthy because it tastes too fucking good. It tastes too goddamn good. As I'm eating, I'm going, holy shit.
It's everything that's bad for you.
I felt my arteries clogging up as I was eating it, but man, I can't stop. Really good.
It's not bullet though. So.
Yeah, it's not pulling a bullet. You know, I'd be barking, I'd be called, you know, clucking like a chicken if I had
I'm
that.
on the floor right
Guys, thank you for tuning in. This was episode 2. We'll see you guys in episode 3. Thank you guys for tuning in.